In today's video, I want to show you all of the different gear that I use to shoot cinematic videos and vlogs. And this is not all of the gear that I use to shoot my videos, but this is all of the gear that I travel with, and this is actually everything that I took to Iceland in April to make the vlog and cinematic video that I made while I was there. I feel like it makes sense to start out with the camera, which is obviously not here because I'm filming on it right now. This is the Panasonic LUMIX G7. I've been using it for the last year or so, and while I have pretty mixed feelings about it, I think I like this camera. While there are plenty of inconveniences that come along with using a micro four thirds camera, like the crop, the low light capabilities, the lack of bokeh in a lot of your shots, I do like this camera quite a lot. It has a lot of good features for video, especially since it's only like $500. This is a great camera if you're starting and getting into filmmaking. I travel with 3 different lenses. The one that I use the most is this one. It's the LUMIX 25mm f1.7. I made an entire video all about this lens, which I'll link right up there, so you can click there to go watch that video. This is my favorite lens. I use it for almost everything. It's good depth of field, good focal length, very versatile, and I like it quite a lot. But sometimes 25mm isn't wide enough, so I use, or used to use before I broke it, this lens. It's the 7 Artisans 7.5mm f2.8. The fact that I broke this shouldn't be an indication that it's poorly made. It's a pretty well made lens. It's made almost entirely of metal, I believe, not plastic. So this is a pretty well constructed lens. I was just stupid and put it on the camera the wrong way and had to break it to get it off. So it's a fisheye lens, so you do have to correct the distortion, but if you're willing to do that, coming in at like $150, this is a really good option for a wide angle lens, and this is what I used to use to vlog. But now that I broke it, I've been doing all of my wide angle shots and all of my vlogging shots using the Panasonic 14-42mm kit lens. The autofocus and stabilization are both pretty good on the kit lens, so I'm not complaining that much, but I am looking to replace it with a better wide angle lens soon. I also took this lens with me. It's an OPTEKA 85mm f1.8, and I honestly can't recommend this lens to everyone. It's a very soft image and it's not stabilized, so 85mm not stabilized on a micro four thirds sensor is a very shaky image. But I found if you use this on a shoulder rig, I've tried it on a shoulder rig and I got a pretty stable shot with it, so if you're shooting with that kind of setup, maybe this could work for you, but wouldn't recommend it to everyone. Also, since this is made for a Canon EOS mount, I have to use an adapter, which does make the image a bit softer. When I travel, I take 3 batteries for my camera, just so I can charge all of them up and have complete confidence that I'll be able to get through an entire day of shooting without my batteries dying. I took 3 SD cards to Iceland, one 64GB card and 2 32GB cards, which was more than enough. I think I only filled up like one 32GB SD card. SD cards aren't really that important, just make sure you have enough of them and that if you're shooting video, they're fast enough to transfer that. For audio, I used the Rode VIDEOMICRO. It's not in the shot because it's right up here recording audio of me right now. This is my favorite microphone that I've ever used. I love it. It's small and compact. It doesn't require batteries, so it's just a very convenient microphone to use. Comes with a windscreen and a shock mount, and it's only like $60, and considering that the audio quality is pretty good, if you're someone who moves around a lot, if you shoot vlogs, I would absolutely recommend this microphone. When I'm traveling, I don't take a tripod, but I do take a JOBY GORILLAPOD. You're all familiar with this. Who hasn't used one of these? If you vlog, take photos, shoot videos, you probably have experience with a GORILLAPOD, so I don't really need to talk about that. When I posted my Iceland video, I got a lot of comments not only about how I shot it and how I edited it, but a lot of people wanted to know what kind of gear I used to shoot that video, and specifically if I used a gimbal. And I did use this gimbal, the ZHIYUN Crane V2, for most of the shots in that video. I ordered this gimbal right before I went to Iceland, and I've used it on a few different projects since then, and I have to say I do really like it, especially For the price, it's a little under $500. It pretty much does what it's supposed to. You balance it right, and you get very stable shots. It's a great tool to make your cinematography more dynamic. I was worried when I got this that it would be an inconvenience to travel with, that it would be difficult to carry around and take up a lot of space, but it's really not, especially since you can just leave your camera on here and carry it around like that when you're walking around. So I had this in my hand most of the time that I was hiking in Iceland, and it wasn't a problem to move around with at all. If you're using a gimbal, I would definitely recommend investing in a few quick release plates. This was honestly the best $90 I've ever spent. I got 3 of these. I put the quick release plate, part of it, on my camera, and then I put one of the bases, on the tripod that I'm using right now, as well as there's one on the crane and one on my GORILLAPOD. So I don't have to unscrew anything to get my camera from my tripod to here or from here to the gimbal. This also means that unless I change lenses, I don't have to balance the gimbal every time I use it. I can just put the camera on in the quick release plate and it's already balanced. So it's very convenient, saves you a lot of time, especially if you're traveling or you're on set and you don't have a lot of time to be fiddling around with your gear, trying to switch from one rig to another. And that's it. That is all of the gear that I travel with. And obviously when I'm home and I'm shooting a video like this, there's other gear I use. My microphone's on a stand, my camera is on a tripod, and I'm using an umbrella light to light my face right now. But this is everything that I need to travel with to make a vlog or a cinematic travel video. I don't want this video to be considered like a list of gear recommendations or what I believe to be the best gear for filmmaking or even for traveling. This is just what works for me and what I've found fits my workflow. If you missed something or you're at all curious about the gear that I'm using to make my videos right now, you can check my kit page, which will be linked in the description. That's basically a full list of everything that I'm currently using with links to where you can get it on Amazon. So something useful to check out, that'll be in the description. Also, sorry the lighting in this video has been so inconsistent. I'm shooting in front of my window right now and it's like mid-afternoon, so the sun is all over the place. But I hope you found this video in some way informative, and if you did, do feel free to show your support by leaving a like on the video or even subscribing to my channel. I upload 2 new filmmaking tutorials every single week. Most importantly, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.